I never imagined that after 14 years of marriage with my beloved wife, I would find myself in a similar situation. Now, it all feels like a terrible dream, and I even share my story with a touch of humor because we've moved past it. I first met Katya at my best friend's wedding, where she was a lively and beautiful bridesmaid who captured my heart. Despite other guys being drawn to her charm, Katya showed favor towards me, the most persistent of them all. After a few months of dating, Katya revealed that she was pregnant. Being deeply in love with her, I wasted no time and proposed, and she accepted. We had a lovely wedding, and things seemed to be going as they should. We lived a good life, raising our smart and beautiful daughter together. Everyone always commented on how she resembled me, which brought joy to my heart. The love for my daughter warmed my soul. Like any family, we had our fair share of minor arguments, but the sweetness of our reconciliations made it all worth it. I had never been tempted by anyone else and had never even entertained the thought. I was content and fulfilled with my wife's love in every aspect. Therefore, it never crossed my mind that Katya could betray me. For what seemed like 14 blissful years, we enjoyed a marriage that felt cloudless and filled with happiness. I had been employed at the factory for several years, working alternating day and night shifts. On this particular day, I found myself once again assigned to the night shift. I had a trainee working under me, a bright individual who quickly grasped the intricacies of the job. He not only completed his tasks diligently, but also went above and beyond the call of duty. After completing another round of the premises, we decided to take a break and warm up in the household room while enjoying a cup of tea. The transition from the frosty air outside to the cozy room brought a sense of relief. Lost in my thoughts, I unintentionally voiced my desire to go home to my loved one and crawl into a warm bed. Without hesitation, the trainee, named Salavan Sergeyevich, encouraged me to leave, assuring me that he could handle the workload. He pointed out that there was only one more round left for the night, and it had already been completed in the morning. The idea of being able to please my sweetheart and be in the comfort of a warm bed within half an hour lifted my spirits. Adding to my enthusiasm was the fact that we had completed our tasks efficiently, leaving us with only a few hours of monitoring the radio. Unbeknownst to me at the time, agreeing to the trainee's suggestion would either turn out to be a stroke of luck or folly. With early spring in the air, the nights still held a chill. I relied on my trusty old motorcycle to commute to work throughout the winter, and within 30 minutes, I found myself back at home. The sight of the gate covered but not locked made me slightly uneasy. However, my uneasiness heightened when I noticed the lights were on in the separate summer kitchen adjacent to the house. As I arrived at work, I couldn't help but notice that none of the outbuildings had any lights on. It was always my routine to turn everything off and lock the gate myself, so this caught me off guard. Despite my growing anxiety, I reassured myself that my daughters were safe. Each step towards the house intensified my nervousness. Upon reaching the house, I saw no light emanating from within. Feeling a mix of concern and curiosity, I instinctively grabbed the nearby shovel handle and made my way towards the summer kitchen. I decided to prop the door open from outside, creating a small gap through which I could discreetly observe what was happening inside. With a shovel blade in hand, I prepared myself for whatever I might encounter. Countless thoughts raced through my mind, building up a whirlwind of emotions. Unexpectedly, what I witnessed in that moment took me by complete surprise. My dear Katusha, I was with another man. The words hit me like a blow to the head. For a few fleeting seconds, I stood there, neither alive nor dead, trying to comprehend the situation at hand. How was this even possible? The moans and sighs of an unfaithful wife shook me out of my stupor. In a fit of anger and disbelief, I accidentally knocked a dove flying into the window with the shovel blade. Despite my confusion, I was determined to see the expressions on their faces, distorted by horror and surprise. The details of what unfolded afterwards are hazy in my memory, but I distinctly recall the lovers hastily springing to their feet, scrambling for their clothes, desperately attempting to flee through the door. The doors were locked tightly from the outside, preventing their escape. They stared at me, awaiting guidance. I motioned for them to sit still, securing the restraints around their necks, and made my way towards the exit. Opening the doors, I discovered that both of them had already fled their secret rendezvous through the second window, disappearing into the vegetable garden. With a heavy heart, I entered my daughter's room where she peacefully slept, tears welling up in my eyes. After speaking with my daughter, I attempted to find the right words to explain where her mother had gone. However, before I could begin, my daughter interrupted me, expressing that she was already aware of everything. She revealed that this was not the first time unfamiliar men had visited her mother, and that her mom had instructed her to keep silent. Overwhelmed with emotions, she wept and disclosed that her mother had been absent from her life for several months, displaying no interest in her well-being. Eventually, my wife did make an appearance, hoping that time had healed the wounds and that I would forgive her. Yet both my daughter and I had moved forward and were unwilling to welcome her back. We presented her with the belongings we had gathered over time and wished her the best. A year later, I encountered a wonderful woman who also had a daughter slightly younger than mine. The three girls bonded effortlessly, forming a new, resilient family. Meanwhile, my ex-wife continued to indulge in a carousal of romantic relationships, her love affairs stretching on for years. I learned about these developments through conversations with her sister, who happens to be our daughter's godmother. The reasons behind how my ex reached such a point, and how she could abandon her own child, are mysteries that may forever elude me, leaving me with a sense of incomprehension and disbelief. Dear friends, thank you for listening to our stories. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, and leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to press the bell not to miss new stories, which we try to publish every day. We also remind you that everyone can share unique stories from their life or the lives of friends, which can be sent to us by email, which is specified in the description of the video. Good luck to everyone and be happy!